and way to stand on your morals and principles and fuck everyone else.
Last thing that I want to say is sometimes when I'm doing the Show Me the Mind podcast, I cannot articulate like that. I cannot say the things that I believe on because it's a 1 hour show and I have to be funny. I have to be funny. I want to be funny.
Sure.
I'm speaking on my second language. And so that's why I can understand why the people clip and they say, hey, this guy is dumb, And if you think yourself as dumb, think the people that watch the Brendan Schaub show on YouTube, the comedian, the special. That's fucking terrible. Okay, brother? Even I can do better than that shit, brother. And I don't even speak English, and I can be funnier than you, my brother.
Gosh. Papa catches a stray. Oh dear. Oh dear.
Thank you so much, Ariel, for the platform.
Oh man, just brutal. When a Brazilian mixed martial artist from the UFC still on the current roster in Renato Moicano 10-7's your stand-up comedy special, it's game over. Considering English is his second or third language, and he claims he could do it better than you and be funnier than you, it's most definitely game over. Brendan Schaub getting gadooshed here, and later in the video we're gonna go ahead and get Schaub's extremely obnoxious clapback at Renato Moicano, so you're not gonna want to miss out. But let's talk about this. The question is, what lies does Brendan Schaub tell himself to spin the narrative in his own head when he's constantly being shat on by his peers? When even in English as a second language Brazilian knows you're terrible. Oh, you're terrible. However, to be fair, a significant section of the special gringo puppy was entirely in Chinese, if you recall, because I didn't have a clue what he was saying. But I understood it was funny because he is a physical comedian like his hero, Jim Carrey. Talking about the guy that speaks for a living. Be cool, say less. Renato Moicano is funnier and speaks better English than Brenda. Papa catching strays left and right. And what's wild is that objectively, Renato and Papa's speech is not that different. Moicano is sounding out words but correctly, and he's adding extra uhs at the end of words, but it sounds nice, like Italian or something. Papa Schaub always sounds drunk, and he sounds like a dude that has marbles in his mouth. A real assault on all of our ears. You can also tell that Renato is thinking and trying to get his message across using the right words. Brendan Schaub doesn't think. He just opens his mouth and the nonsense comes out so fast he can barely form sentences. But go easy on my man. Papa is a native speaker, just like he's a native Texan. Fuck that guy. Did he ever fail at American football? Did Renato ever fail at hosting red carpet events? Moicano, have you ever failed at being an actor? Ever fail at running a 100-meter sprint against a comedian only to pull your hammies? Has he ever made one of the Afflecks cry? It might be true. Renato Moicano might be funnier and a better UFC fighter, but he damn sure didn't trek halfway across the continental United States to host a podcast over a car garage with no equipment in it. So there's levels to this game. And trust me, extra sauce on that. And seriously, Renato Moicano, I only got one question for you. But is that nice, though? So you fancy yourself a fisticuffs? Possibly Moicano doesn't understand comedy. So let's go easy on him, because Papa doesn't do jokes. He tells stories. Seriously, though, take any of Renato Moicano's post-fight interviews from the last couple of years, and it's a million times funnier than anything Brendan Schaub has done in his entire career. I just became an instant fan. And thank you, Ariel Helwani, for the platform. You know Ariel loved that stray, like he was a homeless cat working the fryers at P.F. Chang's. I'm just gonna go ahead and throw in the towel for you, Papa. Now, are you all ready for Brendan Schaub's response? And you know it's gonna be a long one. It always is. But don't worry, Papa has his circle jerk friend Brian Callen next to him, just to give him that extra support. Here's Papa's obnoxious clapback at Renato Moicano.
College stuff.
Speaking of college stuff, did you see finally Moicano respond to me criticizing him not taking the
Moicano?
Moicano.
I did not see that.
He responded to me criticizing him for not taking the money. Now let me be very upfront here. Him not taking the money helps me out. So at the end of the day, I don't give a flying fuck.
Yeah.
It actually puts more money in my pocket, Don Cerrone's pocket, some other fighters that could probably use it. But here's my thing, Bubba, and I'm a fan of Moicano. And I expect a rebuttal. Whenever you criticize a fighter, we're fighters.
Well, I think you went hard in the press. I think what he...
No, hold on, let me finish. Yeah. So whenever you call out a fighter, I expect a response. They're fighters. You call me out, if you're just a general fan or hater, I don't respond. If we're from the same alumni or you're professional, well, now you got my attention. And because I'm not going to come off as a bully there. Like with Nate Diaz, that's not bullying. He called me out. We're from the same fraternity. We can both fight. So if we fight, we both have a set of skills and we both agree to it. That's different than if you're just some schmuck at the bar. That's not cool. If a professional beats up a average Joe, that's bullying, and that's not the way to do things. But if you're from the same fraternity, the UFC fraternity, well, now we can both play in this game. But here's the thing with Moicano is if you're going to start a beef, if you're going to go back and forth, buddy, you can't wait. No, hold on. You can't wait 10 days to respond. I don't know if it's a language barrier. I don't know if it's a translation thing where they had to figure out what I said. Either way, your handlers, you can't get back to me after 10 days. I've moved on. When someone and fans are hitting me up like, oh, Moicano's taking shots, I went, what? Who? About what? I've moved. Dude, this is 10 years. It's like with Nate Diaz. It took him several days to respond, and all he said was, you'd be surprised. Well, first of all, I've already moved on in my life, dude. And second of all, that's not original. That's so weak. You're making a reference from fucking 12 years ago. And your team, your handlers, that's what you got. And with Moicano, right? And this is prototypical chat GPT. How do I talk shit to Brendan Schaub? Here it is. He's dumb. He's a meathead. He's bad at podcasting. He was a bad fighter. If I post a truck, did you flip it? The standard shit, right? The standard shit. None of it's original. So his team put in chat GPT. How do I talk shit to Brendan Schaub? Again, he's in Brazil, so I don't know. Maybe it's a translation issue.
Yeah.
If you think yourself as dumb, I never said I was dumb. I might call myself an idiot, but compared to him, I'm Elon Musk.
Well, he's not talking to you about that.
Think about my fans, which is, if you're listening to me, that means I'm dumb and he's dumb and the fans are dumb, right? And then he goes, Brendan Schaub's show on YouTube. Oh, it's a podcast, mainly audio. We do YouTube just for the fuck of it.
So he said, the comedy special. The whole quote,
hold on. And the comedy special. Oh, you're talking about from 5 years ago? Yeah. It's just like, dude, again, if you were going to come with this rebuttal, you got to do it at least within 24 hours. Otherwise, I'm out, bud. I'm not going to play your game. But if you're going to wait a fucking week, 10 days, however long this took to come up with this rebuttal, it has to be good. Then I'm like, all right, they took their time. They probably got some writers. Then I'm in. But when it's this, and listen, I like Moicano. Him not taking the money helps me out, helps the other fighters out. You're putting more money in my pocket. And Moicano, I hate to tell you, 99.9% of UFC fighters, alumni, current fighters, staff, anybody who works at the UFC is on my side. You're not going to find many fighters that agree with you. Everyone thinks it's fucking stupid what you're doing. Now, again, I don't know Moicano, and I don't know how far the dollar goes in Brazil. Maybe he's set. Maybe he comes from family money. I think he was going to be a lawyer and dropped out of that to pursue fighting. So he's a smart dude.
Guy, yeah.
He's a very smart guy. And he's entertaining.
He's great.
And here's the other thing. If you're going to respond and then make fun of me, how no one watches my show, or I can't podcast, can't do this stuff, blah, blah, blah. Bud, to get your message out, you have to go on another man's show to reach me. I sit down over there in a chair for the last fucking 12 years and get my message out. And you saw it. It got to you. You have to call another grown man who's built their platform, and Ariel Helwani has a big platform, just to reach me, bud. I do it from here, and you're making fun of me.
Wait, it might have been that he let it go, and then Ariel asked him about it.
No.
No?
No.
Oh, okay.
He doesn't have a fight coming up. This is the only thing that's current in his life.
Wasn't he on Ariel when he said that?
Correct, Brian. That's the point. Yeah. Hold on. Yeah.
No, but did he go on?
Hold on. Yeah.
No, but he didn't go on.
Brian doesn't get it. Let me do this.
He didn't go on
Ariel to address this. He doesn't have a fight.
Only that?
He doesn't have a fight
coming up. Go on there for other things.
He doesn't have a fight coming up.
Right. Huh.
So if you're going to go on shows, it's usually because you have something to promote, correct? A fight, maybe you release some brand or some brand deal.
Yeah.
No, he went on another grown man show to get the message out because he can't do it from here. And then he's trying podcasts and everyone their mom is, right? Weird. Who's the first UFC fighter to do a podcast? Do you know who it is? Right? So he's going to launch a podcast. You're going to call it Show Me the Money. And then when they show you the money, you turned it down. Oh, but I'm the dumb one.
Do you think that the clapback came as a result of you saying he'd never be champion?
Probably.
Yeah.
And I stand by that. I'm not trying to hurt his feelings. Let's go black and white here. Take feelings out of it. Let's be analytical. Let's take feelings out of it. If you look at his record, and I'm not being mean. This is, if I did not know him, we didn't have this beef. You look at the lay of the fucking land at 55 that he's fighting at. Anytime he's fought top echelon competition, he has lost. He's lost. He's coming off a 2-fight loss streak right now.
Yeah.
Right? He beat BSD, who was overhyped. So that's probably his best win. He lost to RDA, which is years ago. He lost to Fazeev. These are all top of the division. Keep going. He lost to Korean Zombie. He lost to Jose Aldo. He lost to Brian Ortega. So just be analytical. So you haven't beat any of these top guys. You're not going to. You beat Drew Dober, Jalen Turner, BSD, who we know was overhyped, and that's my fault. I overhyped him. He was a beast, but he's not. It was fake hype. He has no legit wins, right? So you beat him, and then by beating him, you got a title shot because the main event fell out in a short notice. That will never happen again. It will never happen again. And then they give you a bounce back fight with an older Dariush, and you lose to him. So if we're just being analytical about it, me saying you're not getting a title shot isn't a shot at him. Right. Fucking 99.9. I never fought for a title.
You're being honest as you
see it. And it's fair. He's a fighter to criticize that. But if you take your feelings out of it, he knows this.
Yeah.
I know this. The fan base knows this. Now, he's a fun fighter to watch. He's exciting, always have a career. But again, he's a smart dude. I'm not going to call him dumb and all this shit and blah, blah, blah. But he might be playing checkers. I'm sorry. He might be playing chess and we're playing checkers. Because he might be thinking, I don't know what they pay him. It's probably a good amount of money with how many fights he has, right? And he fought for that main event, probably got a good payday. He's fighting top echelon guys. He might be saying, hold on. The smart, and he's a smart dude, so maybe he's doing this. He's already lost 2 in a row. You lose another one, it's going to get dicey. He might say, instead of taking this antitrust lawsuit money, which he said was, I think, $200,000 or $300,000, it's not. I know how they break it down. He was going to get about $120,000. So he's off even on his numbers. I just don't think he has the facts. So he's not actually turning down $200,000 like he said. He's probably turned down a low 100-something thousand, which is still a lot of money.
Yeah, but after taxes.
But he makes, after taxes, all that. But he probably makes more fighting, right? So the smart thing to do, if he thinks Dana's going to scratch his back, which I doubt he is, but maybe they are, is I'm a 2-fight losing skid. They give me a bad matchup, I'm fucked, dude. I'm going to make way more money. If I can just win one more, that's going to extend my career another 2 to 3 fights.
Fan favorite.
Yes. So that's going to extend my career another 2 to 3 fights.
Smart.
So by turning this $100,000 down,
he makes a lot more.
Correct.
Yeah.
So I think he's playing chess.
I agree.
And we're thinking of checkers. That's what I assume he's turned down the money.
That's what I feel like. That's what makes sense. That would be the smart sort of long-term
he doesn't say
plan.
That though. He doesn't say, he goes, it's a pride thing, it's a respect thing.
And it probably is as well. It's probably a combination.
That's all garbage. That's all garbage. And I'm coming from as an older guy who has been around the league longer than him.
Yes.
I've been behind the scenes way longer than him.
Yeah.
I have the relationships to know how this works. I'm telling you now, Moicano, maybe you're right. Maybe they give you a favorable matchup and you extend your career. Maybe. And I fucking hope they do, and I hope that's why you're doing it. But typically, it never works out that way. They never scratch your back. They just don't. And it's all good. You're in the fight business. It's pretty it's the most cutthroat business you can be in. Because this is the way it will work. Let's say Dana goes behind the scenes, hey, dude, tight move showing loyalty to the UFC. Here's a good matchup for you, and you win that one. He's not going to continue to give you good matchups at the level you're at. The next one after this, it gets real, and you're back to the drawing board. That's how this goes. That's just how it goes. And you're in the toughest division in the world. It's at 55.
Yeah, 55.
So it's no knock on Moicano saying that 55 is the most talented division. He's ranked in the top 15. You know how impressive that is?
Yeah.
His wins are super impressive.
What's his ranking right now?
I'll look right now.
Probably top 15.
13, I think.
I think that, yeah.
You know how hard it is to be ranked top 13 in the world?
I think I think you said what a lot of people were thinking, right?
Anyone that knows the sport knows I'm 100% correct.
Yes.
11.
It's impressive.
And I think he was even higher than that before he lost 2.
Yeah.
So, you're talking about a top 10 guy, which is super impressive.
Yeah.
But you look at the top 5, it's not a pretty picture for him.
Yeah.
And that's all good. That's not a knock on him, dude.
It's the truth.
But again, they get upset about that, and I get it. I understand that. I expect even a blowback from this 14 days later.
Keep it going.
Dude, I got too many fish to fry. I fried this Brazilian fish fucking 10 days ago. I don't go back for leftovers.
I don't know that. I never got that you were actually attacking Moicano anyway. You were just kind of saying, hey, the UFC doesn't work this way, right?
Yeah, that's all it is.
Yeah.
And also at the end of the day.
He may have a great relationship with Dana, though. And he may have been like, I'm just going to.
So does Donald Cerrone.
Play the long game.
No, but so a ton of guys do, and they're still taking the money. The UFC, there's no negative side effects from taking the fucking money.
Yeah, my guess is Dana would say, take the money. It's already been.
Dana would be like, oh, dude, yeah.
Well, first of all, the money's not going back to Dana. It's not like I'm not going to take the money and now.
No, and that's why I'm glad he's not taking the money. The money comes to me.
Yeah.
And the rest of the fighters that are taking, and I think it's like 97% of the fighters are taking it.
Yeah.
Only 3% aren't.
Yeah.
I know a big fish who's not taking it.
Yeah.
But again, I don't know Moicano's financial situation, and he was going on to be a lawyer, and I don't know his family in Brazil. The dollar goes a lot longer out there than it does here. He might be completely fine. Being like, God, dude. But again, remember, he's in a different boat than a lot of us. He thought he was going to get, I think he said he turned down 200, 300,000. That's not the case. He turned down about 100-something thousand.
Yeah.
Because the formula they use to break down how much you're going to get, you can figure it out. People have figured it out. He actually turned down about 100-something, 110,000.
Yeah.
Still a ton of money, but after taxes, I can see why he's like, just give me a good matchup next one. Because that's the long game.
100%.
You gotta love it, folks. Every time Brendan gets called out, he's like, I don't give a fuck. But then talks about it for weeks because he's such a little bitch. Very much emotional. For everyone else, it's always just a throwaway comment like Dana White. That makes sense. Nate Diaz's Brendan is a pussy. Or Moicano just throwing out, if you think I'm dumb, there are people out there who watched Brendan's special. But Schaub always goes full meltdown and manages to turn it into a 20-minute rant about how he doesn't care, and it doesn't affect him. Yeah, that's cool, B. This redact is a walking contradiction. Bappa, the clout-chasing mushmouth, it takes him, 10 days to respond? Why, Brenda? Because nobody gives a shit about you and your fair-weather, wishy-washy opinions. A literal active fighter in the UFC who is busy with real shit and training versus someone like Brendan who dicks around and has all the time in the world to sit at Little League games, work in quotes 2 hours per week solely talking about random stuff on a couch with zero preparation, pays actual real men to work on his cars, and nothing else. This dude thinks a response should come back in 24 hours. Makes a ton of sense. It's so sad to see that Brendan thinks everyone in the MMA is waiting for his next hot take. Bappa, nobody gives a shit. They see it whenever it gets clipped and shows up on their timeline. I doubt any of these guys are subscribed to this idiot's podcast because they're too busy hanging out over on the subreddit The Fighter and the Kid. And for Christ's sakes, Brendan, can you swallow the fucking spit that's pooling in your mouth, you mushmouth brain-dead fog-faced moron? Thank you. Or thank him. And Bryan Callen, whoa, hold on, buddy. Let Brendan finish. I swear to God, Rinks never lets Bappa speak. Jesus. Sarcasm, by the way. Brendan Schaub, I don't give a fuck. And then spends the next 13 minutes giving all the fugs. Some would say the fuggiest. And you know what's hilarious? Brendan Schaub thinks Moicano went on Ariel's podcast to specifically respond to Brendan. Classic Bappa. And then he was so frustrated at Bryan Callen for not getting it, talking down to him again like an asshole. And Callen just fucking laps it up. I have no idea how Bryan can actually submit himself to this. Rinks, why are you such a spineless weasel? Oh, and also a sex pest. And I just realized Schaub loves using the handler line ever since his daddy Rogan said he needed one because it cut him deep. You can't take 10 days. I've moved on. Maybe it's a translation issue. No, Bappa, maybe it's because nobody pays attention to what you're saying, so it takes them that long to hear about it, you ignorant loser. I'm not gonna play your game. And then he continues to play the game. Brendan Schaub trying to throw shade about language barrier. Bro, Renato with his thick accent is far more articulate than you, Schaub, the American bozo. I mean, the guy is so hurt by all this. You can tell the way Brendan's getting so worked up and tense. Even Bryan Callen's grimacing because Rinks feels awkward and knows that Brendan isn't handling this well, as most things in his life. Anyhow, I know a lot of you have a ton to say about this one, so make sure you sound off down below in the comment section right now. And also, there's about 60% of you, or just a little above that are not subscribed yet to this channel, yet still consistently watch the videos, so make sure you guys are subscribed. So make sure you check it and then subscribe. Also, do me a huge favor, hit that like button, and if you could share this out to Discord, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, whatever social media platform you're able to, or a friend that would like this kind of content, please do so. Other than that, I'll see you guys in the next video. Thanks.
Like, but the Balenciaga one, Jesus Christ.